your daily workflow, Steve.
Yes, today we're talking about how to build a daily workflow that doesn't burn you out. We're going to make a repeatable, lofty plus calendar rhythm for predictable, productive days.
I like that.
So let's set this up. You wake up reactive, you're chasing fires all day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine that. You got emails, texts, clients, calls, and you end the day exhausted, but you're unsure what you actually accomplished. So in this video, you're going to learn the number one reason that agents stay stuck in chaos, how to design a predictable, lofty, powered workflow, and how to reclaim your focus one calendar block at a time.
Okay.
That's our three-part promise for what you're going to get out of this.
All right. So let's deal with the pain first.
Okay, you're busy, but not productive. So we've all been here, right? Most agents mistake activity for progress. So what's that look like? We all know you start every morning reacting with emails, DMs, random facts.
Mm-hmm.
I think the number one thing a lot of people talk about is to not touch your phone when you wake up in the morning. And what we like to do is time block your day and try to get the meeting stacked from the back forward.
Yeah.
Instead of in the mornings. Now, what a lot of people will tell you to do is to use the morning time block, especially if you can get up early, to work on things that grow the business. So, sort of CEO, that's where you're doing your CEO hat. And it spends the later half of the day on operations. So that would be where you're going out in the field, doing showings, meeting with inspectors, things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in the morning, part of growing your business would be to keep up with your CRM. So
yeah, I would advise realtors especially, because when you start going to your inbox, it's inboxes now for realtors have become like almost like another Instagram or Facebook, like another social media platform. Why? Because you're getting so much in your inbox. You're getting communication from your broker, you're getting communication from your clients, you're getting communication from friends, family, you name it. But the one thing that can set you apart from everybody else is when you wake up, especially if you have a CRM, the first thing is look at that dashboard. What do you have that is overdue? So that now you can spend the rest 30 minutes either strategizing or ticking off those overdue tasks, right? Like maybe planning a showing, not necessarily like in the work, like if it's a task to do showings, obviously push it to the afternoon, but you at least know that it's there for you today. So check on your overdue tasks, your incoming tasks for the day. And I would say also to look at what came in overnight.
Right. So you're going to look at your lofty dashboard first, right?
Yeah.
And on there will be new leads and opportunities. The opportunities is things that came in overnight or anybody that was interacting with your entire system will show up as an opportunity. New leads, of course, maybe something came in overnight. And if you have your AI set up, it might even been interacting with the lead or even qualifying the lead. So instead of your inbox, we're suggesting that you look at your lofty dashboard instead.
First, yeah.
Because that is going to be where all of your people are. The people that are in your pipeline that you're moving towards closing. So while there's going to be a lot of communications flying back and forth in your inbox, you should probably push that back a little bit, right, Floyd?
Yeah.
And work on your
To-do
CRM.
list for today.
And remember, the R in CRM is relationships. So that's where all your relationships are living. So wake up in the morning and check on the status of your relationships. Think of it that way.
Yeah, and move them along. Find a strategy to move them along.
So besides the dashboard, what else should we look at first thing in the first 15 minutes of our morning, Floyce? We want to review new leads and overdue tasks, right?
Yeah.
And upcoming follow-ups. So the dashboard is going to have the main stuff, and then you're going to go into your calendar. There's a calendar built right into the system, and on there is tasks and your calendar. So you should have tasks that are maybe they're overdue, or maybe you have tasks for today that you can start working on. And then what?
Then you can then move on to automating the small stuff. But before we get there, I think it's very important in the morning as you're looking at these tasks, if there's any tasks that are meant to or deserve a phone call, let's say, maybe you have a new lead that came in overnight. The AI has interacted with it and it's indicating that this one is ready to go. That morning session it's very good for phone calls, to call those opportunities that are low-hanging fruits, and also to call anyone that just resurfaced. Because if you try to do that in the afternoon, the energy level is already low. So you want to make your phone calls in the morning after you look at your dashboard and you have everything, situated. Call that client that you're supposed to show that day and confirm they're available, so that now the afternoon is just the execution. So phone calls, I would say, definitely need to be done in the morning.
And I have here in our notes to star your top 3 priorities before anything else. So figure out what your top 3 priorities are for the day, and make sure you have those queued up as tasks in your system.
All right. So now, then again, when we come to the calendar, which most agents overlook, I think agents tend to rely mostly on their Google Calendar than their Lofty one, I think.
But you can integrate them so they work together. So anything that happens in Lofty will be pushed to your Google Calendar.
And vice versa. And you need to encourage your VAs too to always make sure that your calendar is full for the next day. So that when you come in the morning, that morning hour, maybe from, what would you say, from 8 o'clock to around 11, those hours are just nothing but you strategizing and taking care of the high energy stuff. The stuff that need high energy, you're taking care of it that morning block. All right. And then also you can put, I would say also this morning session, as you're making phone calls, liaise with your VAs, check with them what's going out on social that day. And I don't know if I even shared this with you. There was this creator that was saying, I can't remember. I don't know if it's Gary Vee or there's someone, or Tom Ferry. They say that you need to always, as much as you want your VAs to schedule this social media posts for you in the morning, you need to be the one doing some of them. Write it in your own words, your captions, and also check your social media DMs. Because that's another source of business that is not in Lofty, but you might have some activity on your social media. So I think before you jump onto the second half of the day, make sure that your social media or content strategy is intact, and you're double checking the captions that they have scheduled. You want to make sure that it's sounding like you, and you just want to make sure that you're not just posting, but you're connecting. Are your posts to connect with your followers and future buyers, or are you just posting for the sake of posting, right? Yeah.
And let's go back to what else you can check in Lofty. So you got the dashboard first, then you're going to the calendar second, and then thirdly, now I like to go to the unified inbox in Lofty, because in there you're going to see all the communications that happened. And now the opportunities are also going to show up here under the activity. And so any calls, texts, or emails that came in through the Lofty system will show up there in that unified inbox. So right at the top, you're going to see any emails that came in, or any text messaging, or you can, now after the unified inbox, I like to look at the number 4, the activity pane. It's under reporting. And then in there is where you're going to see all the activity that happened in the system in the last few hours, right up to the minute, actually. So you'll see somebody 4 minutes ago was on your website looking at a listing, or another lead was active, just browsing.
Or they requested for a showing.
Maybe they requested a showing or a home valuation or something like that. So now we got what? Dashboard number 1, calendar/tasks number 2, unified inbox number 3, and then the activity number 4. So that's a good 1, 2, 3, 4 steps to get a instant snapshot of your system on what happened first thing in the morning, what happened overnight.
Yeah. And then now we're going to go to the midday section. And this is where you automate the small stuff, like trigger daily reminders to, for leads that haven't been touched in 7 days. You can have your VA set that up, or you can have a smart plan to make this not a daily task, but something that is automatic in the system.
Now, speaking of daily reminders, this is where, if your system is set up right, you may have seen some of our other videos where we talk about setting up your segments with reminders. So you should have a segment for daily, a segment for weekly, a segment for monthly, and a segment for quarterly. And I like to do another one for semi-annual. That's the ice cold leads that they went through all of our long nurture automations, Floyce, and still no response. So I put them in the deep freeze, but it'll still set a reminder for 6 months later to check back in on them. So that way, even the deep freeze ones, you don't lose.
Yeah.
But that way you can go in there and very easily see what expired and remind yourself the dailies and the weeklies and the monthlies of what needs attention.
And then you can auto assign tasks for new leads, so you're not chasing paper notes. You can also use smart plans for bad days, text property alerts, and check-in. So your human energy stays on relationships. You're not using that to do the actual work. You're staying smart, and you're using your energy to do the stuff that the system cannot, right?
Right. If you set up your smart plans in a smart way, it's going to do a lot of the heavy lifting for you. You're just kind of checking on them, but the system does let you have an overview of the system, because there should be reminders built into these smart plans. The way we build the smart plans is lots of reminders, things that show up on the task or the calendar to remind you to do something.
Yeah, and still on the midday, this is where maybe now you may start going out in the field. You're getting active now. You're probably going to that showing before the school pickup time. You are maybe going to listing presentations, all this stuff on the go. Now, if you are planning to door knock, if that's part of your routine, we have a door knocking feature in Lofty on your Lofty mobile app. If you're not utilizing that, that is super great. You know why? Because sometimes carrying papers around, sometimes you may shove them in the trunk and not remember where they are. But if you door knock with the app, it's easy. It has the GPS on, and it will let you know exactly what like you can actually plan your route, and it will tell you what doors you hit. So in case you even forgot, and once you key in the information of the responses you got from the homeowners, it puts those on your system. If you didn't get anyone, it also creates a partial lead because you didn't get the first name, last name, or something. And that partial lead, I think, how much do Lofty charge to get you that
pennies or
owner's
fractions
information?
of a penny?
Yeah,
it's not much. Yeah, it's a real small nominal fee for basically skip tracing and finding the rest of the lead. They left a partial lead, just maybe their address, and it does a lookup and finds it for you.
Yeah, and also if you tend to farm and put door hangers or put of course you can't do postcards because they gotta have the postage on it. But if you're gonna do door hangers, that's a good app to use, because in some instances you may have conversations. You may have these homeowners come out and say, hi, what are you doing? And you introduce yourself. Of course, staying safe. We've had some funny stories in the news. So just make sure you're safe, but always be branded. And that right there is how to utilize the midday hour. Now, I don't know about your state, but here in Florida, midday is a little bit hard on our end. So you just plan your routes smart, I would say.
Okay, and then how about the third part of the day, closing the loop at the end of the day? So now we want to spend 15 minutes reviewing what got done inside of Lofty.
Yeah.
So here again, you're going to check your tasks, check for the new tasks that are coming up tomorrow, and look at the unified inbox, look at the activity pane. It's under the reporting tab at the top. I don't know why they put it under reporting.
I know.
They used to have a
separate tab just for activity.
Tab just for that at the top. I hate that they changed that. But because that's a really valuable screen to see, because you'll be able to get the pulse of, I think they used to call it the pulse, actually. You get a pulse of the entire system. I thought that was a good name for it, the pulse. So you're going to check that and look for any new leads. Go to the people tab and look for any new leads that just came in during the course of the day, and see if any of them need any more follow-up than what's already been given. If you have your smart plan set up right, as soon as a new lead comes in, there should have been an auto response and something happened. You should have been notified if it's a Zillow lead or a high priority lead that needs speed to lead. That should have happened. If it's a more passive lead, then there still should have been some kind of a smart plan applied to it.
Now let's talk about new leads, for example, Steve. You're out in the field. You probably have help. Let's talk about those people that have VAs plugged in. A new lead comes in, then what? Because all leads are not the same. All new leads are not the same, and they are not ready yet. So talk about marketing qualified leads.
So when the lead comes in, first of all, you want to do an audit of all your lead sources. Because all leads are not created equal. So if you are on, let's say, the Zillow Flex program or something like that, where you have to respond to that lead
in the
first 90 seconds that it comes in. You have to pick up the phone. Same with a Google LSA, a local service ad. Those ads have to be picked up right away. That's going to be a number that you'll recognize on your phone. If it's not one of those, then it can be qualified by a VA, perhaps. Those would be considered marketing qualified leads versus a sales qualified lead. The first level would be just qualifying to make sure that it's a valid number, a valid name, email address, and basically that the lead itself is valid.
It's
not
real.
Qualifying them for their motivation yet.
Yeah. But most realtors lead with the motivation. Are you ready to buy now? What are you looking for? What first?
What a lot of people have a VA do is not even if they didn't take the phone call, look them up on social media. You can add their social media channels to the record. You can make sure that it's a live, real phone number. You can do a quick check on that. Same with the email address, validate the email address. And the name, you can usually tell if it's a real person. Some people will put in a fake name that's obviously fake. Mickey
and
Mouse
a fake email.
Those you want to put on the dead pile, or that's basically fraud. So you don't want to even deal with those and take those right out of the mix. And then escalate it to a sales qualified lead, which would be maybe routing to an agent. You yourself look at it. The first one could have been a VA or someone without a license, and the second one might be a licensed realtor.
All right. So consistency, the takeaway here, I think, Steve, is consistency beats intensity. A clear CRM rhythm keeps you from guessing and from grinding yourself into the ground.
So consistency wins, and having a system that you can work every single day, where you divide your day up into 3 parts, beginning, middle, and end, and have some clear processes for each of the ones. And in the morning, first thing, you should absolutely dedicate 20 minutes, at least 20 to 30 minutes for your Lofty CRM, because that's where all your relationships live.
Let me ask you a quick one. For the morning session, right? I know we mentioned about posting on social, but creating, we find that way better in the morning. Even before you look at your dash, the night before, probably under closing now for the closing the loop, the close the loop end of day. I think that's where they plan for, if you don't batch create, if you create on the day of, let's say, maybe plan for the next morning. And then if your day starts at 8, that's when you start opening work related stuff. I would say after you drop off the kids, let's say to school, 7:30 to 8, that's your content block, because you just had breakfast, your energy is up there. Do the content that time, create, and then send it to your editors, or let it sit until the end of the day when you come and edit, and then schedule it for the next day post. I think that's much better than doing it at the end of the day when you're exhausted, getting on camera at the end of the day when you're exhausted. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, some people are morning people, some are evening people, but most of us have more energy in the morning. You get a coffee in you, and that's the time when you can be doing activities that drive the business forward.
Yeah.
We think of it as operations versus executive activities, marketing activities, creative activities.
Yeah.
Whereas in the middle part of the day, that's more operations. We're talking to clients, we're taking calls. And I thought this was a really good tip from Alex Hormozy. Check him out if you haven't already. He said something that I remembered. He says he stacks all of his meetings from the end of the day forward. Because he wants to protect the beginning of the day for those business-oriented activities, activities that drive the business forward. That's when you got to wear your CEO hat, your CMO hat, and really do things that aren't operational with touching clients, but work on the business instead of in the business.
This brings us to our next segment, which is pro tips to protect your energy. That morning energy, Steve. What we do, we simplify notifications, mute non-urgent alerts, only keep lead pings. I like that.
Yeah, the notifications are under settings in Lofty, and you'll see a notifications tab over on the left side. Click on that, and you'll see a whole slew of several types of notifications too. You can get calls, text, emails, and push notifications on the app. You want to turn off a lot of those.
Yeah.
The calls, a lot of people don't like getting all the text messages and the emails. Yeah. And be selective about that so you're not distracted during the course of the day with a lot of notifications, especially if you have a really active system, which you should.
Yeah. Then use Lofty mobile app for calls and notes instead of bouncing between tools. I like that. Most agents don't utilize the app enough. Like if you have Lofty and you're out there in the field, you should have, because you always have your phone on you. So all these notes, put them under Lofty. Use the Lofty app. It will take notes. It will put literally notes under that lead that just called.
And you can make phone calls just like you normally would on your cell phone, but it goes through the Lofty system and gets
more tracking.
Gets tracked, logged. If you turn on the call recording, it could even record it. Just make sure you're compliant. You might have to say, we're talking on a recorded line, something like that.
Yeah, for note-taking purposes.
To let them know.
Yeah.
But we love the call recording. We let the people know that they're being recorded and record everything. And it makes it so much easier to not only track everything, but then you can take the transcription of that conversation. And now with AI, you can drop that in and have it analyzed, interpreted, reworked into something, extract the next steps, checklists, all kinds of things, right?
Yeah. And then you can do batch communication, 2 check-in windows per day, AM and PM. So select 2 windows that you're going to do that. You're going to check in either at 12 p.m. and again at 5 or 4 p.m. So what are your check-in windows on the system maybe? Right?
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it every single hour, you're on your loft,
I like 11 o'clock and 4 o'clock, 3:30 or 4 o'clock, like once in the end of the morning and once sort of at the end of the afternoon, to do your check-in instead of being constantly
looking through the system.
On top of every tiny little notification, it's going to distract and diffuse your energy. Yeah.
And then weekly reset, Friday 30 minutes to clean your pipeline and update tasks. I like that. It's just like it feels like spring cleaning your business. every Friday you go in there, you look at your pipelines, especially the hot and warm pipeline, Steve.
We didn't talk about that, and we probably should have. When you're doing your check-in in the morning, and we talked about checking the dashboard, looking at the calendar with the tasks, looking at the activity and the inbox, and the segments, but we didn't really talk about updating the status of any daily leads
that have moved from one.
I'm talking about cold, warm, hot, basically, but there's other stages too after the hot, appointment set or pending, under contract. But you want to make sure that all of those stages are accurate.
Yeah,
that's the main thing.
Yeah,
is this really a hot? Or did this kind of grow cold and we can downgrade this from a hot to a warm?
And if you have a team, and you have different agents that are delegated to do certain tasks for the sales process, let's say you have agents that do all your showings, if you're the team leader, then you have agents that handle contracts, then you have agents that handle listing setup, uploading to the MLS, photography, they oversee all that. Then you have others that do nothing but host open houses and follow up with those leads. So, or you have a VA. I think it's very important to make sure that you drop little voice notes if you're on unified communication system like WhatsApp, maybe if you have VAs or if you have even a team, just drop small voice notes and say, hey guys, I just got these leads. They want me to set up an appointment for them tomorrow. Can somebody take care of this? You're keeping them up to date without overthinking it, really. And I feel like it's so underutilized. That's how you get to move things along, versus waiting until the end of the day. That's when you're going to look, oh, this client, oh, I forgot this one needed to be moved from. So as you are on the go, even on your app, your Lofty app, you can switch a lead from one pipeline to another, right? Do it on the go, because sometimes you may forget and not remember who you need to move.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good tips. So we're going to wrap it up here. We're just about out of time. And so what's our parting thought here, Floyce?
The goal isn't to do everything. It is to do what matters every day. And our thoughts here are: do not close every notification. Do not chase every notification. Then don't start your day in chaos. And the other one, Steve, is?
Build a rhythm that works for you and let Lofty handle the noise. We really want you to think of Lofty as a system. That's really what it is. And you need to build systems in order to build a business. A lot of realtors, I fear, are sort of in the freelance mindset instead of the entrepreneur mindset. Freelancers
take whatever comes.
Are doing project-based work. They're trading their time for money, whereas entrepreneurs do everything they can to not trade their time for money. They do the exact opposite, and they build systems. Lofty is a system. The content that we talk about, that's a content system. you need to build these systems in order to grow your business. So part of that is managing your time.
Yeah, and if you're struggling with Lofty, we have a Lofty training, 5 days of Lofty. And this is really good for those that are just starting to use CRMs, or you move from one CRM to another and you don't know how Lofty functions. So the 5 days of Lofty training will walk you through all the way from day one, how to know where everything is at, to day 5, where you are at the closing table, and including actually a open house strategy. So we got it. So if you need one, you can check us out at ChimeNerds.com, and that's listed there under Lofty Training.
And let's make one more offer. We have all of this in a checklist a downloadable PDF that you can print out and put by your desk for the day. If you comment Lofty Workflow, we will drop you that Lofty workflow checklist.
Mm-hmm. All right. Close us out.
Okay, that's it. Remember, Lofty is a system. Use it and buy back your time. So look for us on all the social channels under ChimeNerds, and be sure to also check out our content system at justvideoit.com.
Yeah, and we hang out on TikTok on Wednesdays. We're going to do that hangout tonight at 10, I believe. So I hope to see you there.